emotional that people don't want to talk about it. Yet, we all skirt around this topic. So, and I'm sure if you tell them we need a billboard for suicide prevention, they'll probably sanction $2 million to have a billboard for suicide prevention. So it's not that, so everybody wants a simple bumper sticker solution. It is emotional. There is a lot of emotion it stirs up, especially when we talk about children's suicide, vulnerability. So, and that emotion often translates, let's do something today, or let's do something yesterday, and let's have one billboard in every corner. Every 30 seconds it'll show something. So we may have to kind of somehow harvest that emotion and sorry about that. Yeah. So we may have to harvest that emotion and somehow find a way to channel it. Otherwise, it'll be like all spent fuel, right? We're just going to. And usually we have, when there is a spate of some suicide, there's a lot of emotion, and then everybody goes back to business as usual. So we may have to find a way to connect with folks and get this idea to translate into saving life. Mostly, we may have to find a way to leverage that it's our children that is at risk. None of our children is immune from this. And this affects everybody, directly, indirectly, or whatever it is. It could be a best friend of a parent whose memorial we are going to, or it could be anything else. And how many of those accidents are actually suicide, not accidents, right? We somehow decided to classify this as this or that. So that's one suggestion. How do we kind of capitalize on it? And the one thing I'm learning in this lesson of this campaign is, in the beginning, these are real tough topics we decided to confront. We had decided to go headway towards the topic rather than skirt around. It would be a lot easier for me to talk about the third bridge as the main topic for today. And I'm sure we would have had 50 people show up here and say, why bridge is good, why bridge is bad. No doubt. Or if I had said, I'm going to stick a new, ballpark here, I'm sure we would have had 10,000 people show up. But these are very difficult. So I did recognize this, that it's a chance you're taking. On a one-to-one basis, we have found that it really tests well. We are able to really make way. When we sit and explain to them, I can't stop at 3 minutes. Often they go on for half an hour. Or some break down crying. This is the first time somebody has given them permission to talk. So we may have to have a combination of probably some kind of grassroots. Maybe in the beginning there would be little time we may have to spend, and also some at a higher level. So it's a combination of both that will get us started in this topic. What I mean by that is, we may have to mobilize some family members or teachers, just like you talked to a few teachers who invited you, and keep that going. Then we may also have to mobilize at a level, maybe at a legislative level, at a, principals of the school, or at a leadership level. And there also we may have to find informal leaders who are willing to break free from that. That's rubber stamp as a group rather than, so they're willing to get beyond that. Let's not talk about these things in the board meeting kind of thing. And once we can reach that, critical number will develop. And one of the things I found is at every occasion I get a chance, I talk about this. So the CCTV, I got a chance to talk about it. I spoke about this topic. And, Gator and Denise show, I talked about this topic. So anytime somebody sticks a microphone in front of me, this is all I've been talking. In the beginning, I thought, how will people accept this message? And to my surprise, So far, that has not been the case. We had our state level convention. I went and spoke about this topic. In the voters pamphlet, I mentioned about this. So I've taken every opportunity to talk, and I'm sure each one of us have that kind of formal and informal network of people. Some who are in the position of making decisions at a leadership level, maybe church pastors, or somebody who knows somebody. And then we also have the grassroots level, some family who has lost their loved one to suicide, or. So we may have to use those two approach and try to use the help of media, for example. Each of us can at least write 200 words letter to the editor about this topic. So once we keep more than one approach, then we can start making headway towards getting beyond that. And that is exactly what happened. In Pendleton, there was a congressman named Gordon Smith. Some of you know. His son went to the same school our children went to, Garrett Smith. And the kid had some difficulty, learning disability and things like that, yet he had to conform to whatever was the family expected. A very nice family, a hardworking family. He goes to university, kills himself. Garrett Smith killed himself. And Senator Smith, probably that's the end of his political career. After that, they just went away from the political scene. But they got a bill out called Garrett Lee Smith Memorial Bill. And so sometimes this topic requires transforming the laws into something meaningful. So we may have to partner with somebody like that. So I'm just throwing some ideas. I'm not saying this is the exact one. And that's how the Garrett Lee Smith bill, the law kind of allows some funding for a variety of these projects. So that is my 2 cents. Probably others will have better idea than this.